Boy! Yes! What's happening, everybody? My apologies, first of all, for the late video this week concerning the Greasy four-legger for UFC Vegas 58. I got to tell you guys, I hate this card from a gambling perspective. I am really having a hard time picking out bets that I like. Either the fights are too close to call for me to want to have money on either side, or I feel it's just a bunch of blown out lines that you really, are probably minus EV if you're laying minus 300, minus 400 on some of these fighters. It feels like everybody's got a path. And in the fights where somebody doesn't have a path, it's just juice to the tits. So I really had to scrape to find 4 bets that I like this week. But I found them, and I'm ready to give them to you. So let's give you the Greasy four-legger here. And I will put it up on a banner for you guys to check out. So here we go. First leg of this one is going to be the Kyo Bahayo money line. He's Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. I missed the line on this guy. I probably should have max bet it, but I didn't. I didn't look at the tape on Petrosian in time. By the time I got to the tape, it was minus 175. And then by the time I got done watching the tape, it was minus 200. And I thought maybe it'll come back in. Wrong. Now it's minus 220. Now it's minus 250. But look, he's minus 250 for a reason here. This guy is very, very well-rounded. He's huge for the weight class. He's got great fight IQ. And there's no place where he's going to lose minutes in this fight, in my opinion. Because of the threat of the takedown, it's going to be really hard for Armen Petrosian to throw those body kicks, which he's known for. If he throws those, he really risks getting them caught and being put on his ass. And it's not like getting put on your ass by a Russian where they're just going to spend the rest of the round on top. You get Kyo Bahayo on top of you, he's probably going to finish you with a submission by getting your back. So that's the first leg. It's got to be Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, the money line, the one that I'm the most confident in this week, and it's not minus 500. So Kyo Bahayo money line, very first one. The second one, a fighter that I think is really special right now, Ronnie Lawrence. Let me share my screen for you guys here. I'm loving Ronnie Lawrence this week, but I really think he has a fantastic opponent ahead of him in Kakramanov. This dude is very, very dangerous, Kakramanov, but it's definitely Ronnie Lawrence who's got the minute winning potential here. So I don't see him finishing Kakramanov. Lawrence does have one finish at the UFC level, but Kakramanov is a very good wrestler himself, and he's got a lot of good jiu-jitsu as well. So he's got a little bit better grappling than what Kulabau had when Ronnie Lawrence finished him. But Ronnie Lawrence has been a master of winning minutes here. As you see, he's completing almost 79% of his takedown attempts. He's attempted 33 in 3 fights, and he's out-controlling his opponent 61% to about 5%. While Kakramanov in his one UFC fight was out-controlled 61% to 7%. So we saw Kakramanov losing minutes in control time positions in his debut, and we've seen Ronnie Lawrence be a master at winning minutes in control time positions. Kakramanov's got good conditioning. He's been on a full camp for this fight. The Trevin Jones fight he took on like less than a week's notice and had to fly over from Uzbekistan. So I expect to see a very good Kakramanov here, but what I'm seeing in the numbers is Lawrence's ability to win minutes. So I'm going to pick him to win this fight by decision. That'll be the second leg of this parlay. The third one is going to be the over 2.5 in the Courtney Casey Shevchenko fight. So if we look at the under 2.5 here, right, we see that that's happening 37% of the time in the 125-pound weight class. Now, we are looking for the under 2.5 here. It is a 36% implied probability. So it's actually priced properly. So the over 2.5, which was sitting at minus 215, I believe I might have paid minus 220 on DraftKings. 68% implied probability. We're overpaying when we compare the divisional decision rate, the divisional over 2.5 rate of 63% to this 68% that we're paying. But it's also important to note here that Courtney Casey has 8 losses at the UFC level, and she's only been finished once. And Valentina Shevchenko, not Valentina, that is the good Shevchenko. The bad Shevchenko, Antonina Shevchenko, is about favored right now at about 64% implied probability to win this fight. So if she wins this fight, very small chance that she's finishing cast iron Courtney Casey. So, and Courtney Casey does have that ability to be able to get that armbar from guard. She has finished 3 of her 6 wins at the UFC level inside the distance. And Antonina has been finished in 2 of her 4 losses. But the thing about Courtney is she's not a great wrestler. She's not great at getting fights to the ground. As we see here, 14 fights, only 11 takedown attempts. So, if Shevchenko winds up in Courtney Casey's guard, she's going to put herself there. But I think Antonina is a lot more comfortable on the feet, and I think she can win minutes there. So if this winds up being a kickboxing match, it probably goes the full 3. So I like the over 2.5 in this one. And then the last one is the over 1.5 in the Johnson Malarkey fight. Now, the over 1.5, I have sitting here at plus 130. I think I had to pay about plus 140 for this on DraftKings. No, I'm sorry, the over 1.5 minus 145. That's correct. So if we look here, 33.43% of lightweight fights finish under 1.5 rounds. So that means 67% of them, or 66.57%, go to decision or go over. So we're only paying 59% in this particular fight. So we're actually getting about a 7.4% discount when we compare the implied probability of this line at minus 145 to the over 1.5 of 66%. So we like that. And then we also see here that in a very big sample size, Michael Johnson's fights are going or finishing inside the distance only 12 times out of 25. And that's against some really good competition here. Tony Ferguson, Dustin Poirier. He's fought everybody in this division, including Khabib Nurmagomedov. So even though Malarkey has finished his last couple of fights quickly and has been finished in his last loss quickly, I believe that this fight goes over 7.5 minutes. I think there's just a little bit of recency bias in this line. In addition to that, when you look at how many of these fights have went over 1.5 for Johnson and Malarkey, we're also getting a nice little break there as well, as a lot of them have. So, and 50% of their combined fights are finishing inside the distance, which means 50% of them are going to decision. And, we're only paying 59% for this just to go halfway to decision. So that's going to be the last leg. I think that this line has gotten washed out so bad. And as we can see here at minus 200 for fight doesn't go, comparing the divisional finish rate of 50.72% to the implied probability of this line of 66%, we're overpaying by 16%. And when we compare their 15 out of 30 fights finishing inside the distance, we're overpaying there by 16.7%. So it has me looking for overs, and going the over 1.5 is the safest way to finish out this parlay. So we got all 4 legs there. I can't believe there's 33 of you in here watching right now. I appreciate each and every one of you. I didn't announce this at all, but I wanted to get it out there for you guys. That clocked in last night for me at plus 711. So, I'm put a half unit on it. I'm looking to cash this thing. I don't have a lot of track bets. The only track bet right now I have is the Ayman Zahabi finish only prop for 1.5 units at plus 135. I'm looking to add fight doesn't go to decision for the main event. And I'm also thinking about a fight doesn't go to decision for the Kennedy and Chekwu fight. My guy TJ Spartacus in here saying, what do I think about the Tresean Gore fight? Well, if you go to the MMA Engine YouTube channel, you'll see that I was lucky enough to be able to interview Cody Brundage on Wednesday night of this week. So we talked about Cody Brundage's game plan. We talked about, what he thinks are the best part of his game. We talked about how his pace, he's planning on using it as a weapon in this fight. I think it's going to be a very close fight. Tresean Gore should be the better striker, should be the better minute winner on the feet, but Cody Brundage is the better wrestler, and he says he's going to meet him in the middle, and he's going to put a pace on him, try to take him down. When he gets back up, he's going to be looking to land big shots and try to take him down again. He wants to put a pace on Tresean that Tresean hasn't seen yet. So I'm looking for Cody to maybe shock the world here, get the underdog victory on Sunday or on Saturday, and really put a pace on Tresean and make him fight a fight that he's not comfortable fighting, which is, pedal to the metal for the full 15 minutes, because Cody's going to get tired. But he said, if I'm tired, I know my opponent is even more tired. And he's training up there at altitude at Factory X. So, I really like his chances to get the job done here. Not sure who's ringing my doorbell, but I'm not expecting anyone, so I'm just going to continue to hang here with you guys. Chronic Combat Conversations, my guys in the room there, saying 25 people, but only 12 likes. Let's go and smash that like and subscribe. I appreciate you. Silky B saying my favorite uncle, my favorite Silky B in the room here. JSJ saying surprised you didn't play the Bahayo money line. JSJ, I'm surprised too, man. I fucked up. I just flat out fucked up. I'm high on this guy. I was thinking about just smashing it at minus 150, and then it was I was watching tape, but it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Fell asleep watching tape. Woke up in the morning, it had already gotten away from me, and then I didn't want to chase it, and I just feel like an idiot. But at least it's in the Greasy 4-legger this week. It's the leg I'm most sure about, but hopefully we can cash this thing. TJ Spartacus saying, fuck, I bet the house on Gore. Dude, there's a lot of people on Gore here. Brady's on Gore. There's a lot of really sharp. My guy Luke is on Gore. He likes Gore by knockout. A lot of sharp people on Gore here. And, I didn't get to interview Tresean Gore, so I didn't get to hear his side of the story. But, I really liked what I heard. I really liked what I heard from Cody. And I think that, he's a better fighter than what people have seen so far from him in the UFC. And what I like about Cody is he's fast when it comes to getting an advantageous position or going for a submission. Man, when he locked up that guillotine, it was an absolute thing of beauty. Against Delcha. And when he took William Knight's back, boy, it was just so smooth and so fast. And if Herb Dean hadn't have threatened to take him out of that advantageous position, I think Cody would have just loosened that grip and finished that fight. And we would have been, talking about Cody Brundage being the favorite in this fight. So we'll see how it all shakes out, man. But there's a lot of sharp people on both sides, and that line is close for a reason. Philip saying, you killed that interview, Weezy. I was so nervous, man. I've never interviewed a fighter before. So having the opportunity to be able to do that was mind-blowing. And I'm glad I got to talk to a fighter and ask him some of the questions that I've been dying to ask some of these guys. And I'm glad that those of you that liked it, I've told me so. It means a lot, man. Effie saying, you're the man. I appreciate you, Effie. Thanks for hanging out. TJ saying, I'm looking for something to put 5 units on. Now I'm nervous about the Gore fight. Yeah, I put 5 units on Kyo, man. I mean, even though the line is gotten away, dude, he's going to destroy this dude. JB Bet saying, Chase Sherman looks in much better shape than Bandera. I think he can get the knockout. Yeah, dude, anything can happen in that fight. I don't have faith in either one of those dudes. I think that if Jared does choose to wrestle, he can take the path of least resistance and maybe look minus 200. But I'm not betting on either of these guys, man. JSJ saying the line got out of hand. Agreed. Yeah, man. It's like a parlay piece now, but it's a week where I literally can't find anything to parlay it with. I mean, I came close to pulling the trigger on just the Bahayo money line with the over 2.5 in the Casey Shevchenko fight, but I'm like, dude, I can't even trust Shevchenko to make it 12 and a half minutes. So, man, it's just a bummer. I feel like a real prick for missing out on that Kyo line. And TJ saying, great point. Thanks for the advice, brother. Appreciate you. Jeff saying, Bootsy's on Cody. You got that right, man. Jeff saying, I used to do classes at Factory X when I lived out there, but I guess before Cody arrived. So Cody got there about 2 years ago. And prior to that, he was in Michigan. Jeff saying, whoops. Oi! And then I think I missed some of you guys at the very beginning here. Let's see here. My guy Chris in the room saying Uncle Weezy. Going to be hanging out with Chris a little bit later on tonight. Can we get an oi? Oi! Let's do it. Let's get that bag. MMA Code in the room. Rick Sanchez in the room. Philip V. Guernica 84 saying no olive oil, just pure greasy lard, please. You got it, brother. And great week to lay low. Yeah, for sure, man. And I am laying low, Rick. Justin saying, thank you for the content, Unc. I look forward to hearing Bootsy bark every week. Yeah, man, and he is on Cody. Unc, Greasy, says Cole. Shit, I'm an Armin. Well, that's all right, man. Hey, man, it's a fight, dude. Anything can happen. I'm just really confident about Kyo. I think that he's got what it takes to, to get to the top 10 and to really give people problems because he's good everywhere, because he has good fight IQ and good conditioning, excellent Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because he has that combination of skills. He's going to be able to fight good game plans because in this division, you don't have a lot of well-rounded fighters. And because of that, when you're well-rounded like Kyo is, when you're fighting out of the southpaw stance, which means that you've taught yourself how to fight southpaw, even though you're actually naturally a righty, it means that now he's taught himself how to use that left hand as his power hand, and he has power in both hands. And he uses that karate style, which is hard to close distance on. So if you do, you risk getting caught with those hands, which he has power in, or you risk walking into a reactive double leg, you wind up on your back, and now Kyo's on top of you, a guy who's been grappling with Damian Maia for the last 9 years. So really like Kyo here. I'm just sick to my stomach that I didn't max bet it. And he's saying, shit, I'm on Saeed Yakub. This is the worst I've ever felt about hanging out with Weezy. Dude, Saeed Yakub is so live. He's so live. I'm just going with that minute winning. What I've gotten those numbers tells me that Saeed will take a rest up against that cage and will lose him minutes there. And Ronnie Lawrence is a master of winning minutes. So I think that Saeed Yakub, the finish only prop, is a great way to look at that fight because I think he's the fighter with far more finishing equity. And because of that, that's why I don't want to lay juice on Ronnie Lawrence at minus 140. I'd rather take that decision prop, which is his most likely path, at plus money, and then just say if Saeed Yakub catches him in that ninja choke, or if he lands a big bomb and puts him out, all right, at least the bet was plus money. So yeah, man. JSJ, if this four-legger doesn't cash, I don't know what will. Let's go, Uncle Weezy. Let's get this cheddar, says Jay Keith. Brian saying press the like button. Justin saying MJ or Malarkey won't make it out of the first. It's violence. Yeah, dude. I mean, I know that's what everybody's saying, and that's the narrative this week, that it's going to be a banger and then it won't get out of the first. I'm playing the analytics. I'm playing the other side. Violence is overpriced when you look at the body of work that Malarkey and Johnson have collectively at the UFC level. So, and I'm not saying it's going to go to decision. I'm just saying they need to go 7.5 minutes. No touching. So Lamar Lockett saying, which other fights in general do you expect to go over 1.5? I expect I expect Calvillo Nunez to go over 1.5, but I would not bet it because I think we could see a quick job out of either of them. Zahabi Tercios, I feel pretty good about going over 1.5, but I feel all the finishing equity is with Zahabi. Brundage Gore probably goes over 1.5. Only 2 of their 4 fights have finished inside the distance collectively, but and even Gore went to decision once in the house and got a finish, I believe, against Urbina. Lawrence Kakramanov, I do expect to go over 1.5. And Chekwu Roberson, I don't know, man, but the fight doesn't go to decision, is not overpriced here. 13 of their 18 combined fights have finished inside the distance at the UFC level. So you're getting a 15% break when you compare their collective finish stats to the implied probability of the line, and you get an 11.4% break when you compare it to the implied probability of the line, and a 15% break when you compare it to how the division finishes as a whole, which is 57.3%. They're finishing at 72.2%. So I do like the fight doesn't go to decision as an analytics play for Chekwu Roberson. And I also liked, I think the fight goes for Andrade Nurmagomedov is priced right, but I wouldn't get in the way of it. Both of those guys are so dangerous. But yeah, appreciate all you guys hanging out. Brian saying, press the like button. It's free content. And don't know if you would like. I appreciate that, man. And Chronic Combat saying, oh, baby, give me that greasy 4-legger. So, yeah, we got some, let me see here. Saeed plus Fisayev over 2.5 lock, in my opinion, says Roshuan Yi. I like that. I like that, man. That's not a bad one. Saeed Bahayo, Casey Shevchenko goes to decision. Ayman Zahabi, Ricky Tercios goes to decision. I like that as well. Yeah, the Casey Shevchenko, I'm right there with you, obviously. Zahabi has some finishing equity, in my opinion, but he's also can be low volume. The problem is that Tercios is so high volume and so frenetic that I think it's going to bring out what I think it's a perfect dance partner to get behind Zahabi because he won't get lazy. He won't have somebody who slows down the fight. So, yeah. But you know what? Let me get out of here, you guys. Appreciate you. That greasy four-leggers cashing in plus a little over plus 700. So it's not as fat as the last couple, but I like its chances to cash. Let's do it. Oh, and by the way, my guy JSJ giving me a donation with saying for the next Paloma, ring a ding ding. Man, I appreciate you, JSJ. Let's cash this bet so that you can buy me a Paloma and that I can buy all of you your hopes and dreams at plus 711 this week for UFC Vegas 58. Let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks, you guys. I'm going to head over to my friend's place, take it nice and easy tonight, and I will talk to you guys soon. And let's have a great day tomorrow and cash a bunch of bets on UFC Vegas 58. God bless each and every one of you guys, and I will see you soon.